Welcome to the Worth Listening podcast, where we focus on having positive and productive conversations around money. I'm your host, Lauryn, a 4-time Olympian and certified financial planner. On this show, my guests share their money stories. Everyone has a unique story and experiences both wins and losses when it comes to money. My intent is to give listeners something they can relate to, something that builds their courage to be open and take control of their own money story. When I'm not creating a great show for my listeners, I'm running my company, Worth Winning, where I help individuals and families organize their finances. Check us out at worth-winning.com. All right, now on with the show. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a... Okay, you guys probably don't want to hear me sing, and I don't want my listeners to go away because we're doing really awesome. So welcome to the Worth Listening Midyear Update. You have your one and only Lauryn Williams here. Just get me today, guys. But never fear, I have some awesome guests coming up for the second half. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Can you believe that we are already halfway through 2022? Oh my goodness, time is flying. I thought I would just take some time, hop in, kind of give you all an update. Also give you a moment to kind of breathe and think about what has happened up to this point for you this year. So often we set goals at the very beginning of the year, resolutions, action items, we make lists, you name it, whatever you want to call it. We start our year saying, new year, new me. And then life happens. And it's happening for everybody. So never fear. This is a great time to recalibrate, shift your focus, and finish out 2022 in the most meaningful way that is possible for you. I know there is a bunch that's happened in my life in 2022, and I'll just kind of give you a quick rundown. So highlights and the lowlights. January of 2022, my best friend's mom died, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. To be in my 30s and to know that we now have parents that are of age to be passing away. And I mean, definitely my friend's mom still passed away very young. But it's becoming more and more realistic that we are adults. Many of my friends have children, and inevitably our parents are getting older. It just really hit home the point that time is the most valuable commodity in our lives, and that the time to do what you want to do is now. I've definitely changed the way I moved as a result of it. And I'm liking the new me this year that's moving a little bit differently because I know just how valuable time is right now. In February, I was able to support my fellow Olympic bobsledders and other Winter Olympians by heading out to Park City, Utah, and doing some activations there. And I love that I've been able to find my way in participating in the Olympic movement, life after sport. There's so many different ways to be involved, but sometimes they kind of pigeonhole you into a box of what you should be doing or how you should be governing yourself as an Olympian. And I was so grateful for the opportunity to interact with so many different fans and Olympic family members during that time. It was awesome. Then I got to head to Mexico in February, where usually it's freezing cold everywhere, even in Texas, for a friend's birthday. So March, I did a lot of work because in January, I missed a bit to support my friend. In February, had 2 trips. So March, I had to kind of buckle down and serve my clients and start working towards some of my goals for the year. I did come up for air in April, and drum roll, please. Actually, I don't really need a drum roll. I just need you guys to clap for me because I hit my 50th country. Yes. So for those of you that are new here, I have a travel bug that is something fierce. And I actually had never counted the number of countries I've been to until a friend that was trying to hit 100 countries suggested that I count, and I got an app, and lo and behold, I was at 48 when that happened. So and that was right before COVID. So I've been chasing these last 2 countries for the last couple of years, and I nailed them down. It was El Salvador and Nicaragua that got me to 50. I have a lot of goals for my business this year, and one of them is to start doing financial retreats. We did successfully have our first retreat in April. We did successfully have our first retreat in Atlanta in 2021. We did successfully have our first retreat in Atlanta in 2021. But I ran into a few bumps in the road trying to get another retreat on the calendar for 2022. We started with Jamaica. We bounced around to a few other places, and, cost, timing, audience participation, all of those have come up for me. And so what I decided was I needed to kind of create some space within my business to be able to focus on these retreats a little bit more so I can actually allow my vision to come to fruition. So May and June, we went into what I call surge period. I made sure to see all of my individual clients, get them up to date, get their outgoing tasks and to-dos done, reset expectations. I even graduated some clients because I think that's necessary as well. We tend to set the expectation that everybody is going to be the perfect fit forever and ever. And some clients aren't just meant to be your forever clients. And that's what I really love about being a business owner, is that I am able to serve who I see as appropriate, serve them to the best of my ability, and let go when it's not appropriate, because at the end of the day, it's not about dollars and cents for me. It's about making sure that I can make a meaningful impact for the person on the other end. So surge time was crazy, but it went really well. The downside of the surge time was that I didn't take on any new clients. So we actually closed the calendar late March in preparations for my travel in April to kind of start this surge period a little bit preliminarily. And then in May and June, we served only our current clients. So as you can imagine, our pocketbook took a hit. That comes with the territory as well as being a business owner. In fact, these paychecks are now $622. So if anybody wants to know how much money I made, there it is. That is my current biweekly salary. But we are headed in the right direction. In the month of June, I went to a VC conference that really put things in motion for me. So for those that don't know, I've recently become interested in venture capital, angel investing, and that whole startup world. I have quite a few clients that have been founders of companies or are employees of startups, and it just caused me to want to know a little bit more about how this world works. So I've now taken 3 classes and officially made my first investment a few weeks ago. And if you're interested in knowing more about VC, never fear, because I've got some info coming up for you. And we're currently in July, and I am coming to you today from Medellin, Colombia. I just returned from Bahia Solano, which is a place where you can go on the north-south-west coast of Colombia and just be in an area that's pretty much as close to untouched by humans as possible while being inhabited by humans. Simple life, a lot of nature, and the coolest thing about it is whale watching. The day that I went whale watching was the first big day of the season. I was fortunate enough to go out with some biologists, and they confirmed that it's been pretty quiet up to this point. This is the beginning of whale watching season, but the whales put on a show for me and the others in attendance. So why am I in Colombia? Because I love this place. I've decided I don't know my paternal grandfather, so I've decided to make up my own story and just tell everybody that he was Colombian. That's the only thing that makes sense, because Colombia is in my soul. This is my 3rd trip here, and I'll be in Colombia for a total of 5 weeks this month with the intent to learn Spanish. So that was also one of the goals I set. I'm slightly behind schedule. I thought I would be talking confidently by this time. I thought I'd be talking confidently by this time of the year, but I'm still fumbling and bumbling over my words. I can see the improvement, but I think it's just a lot harder learning something at 38 years old than it is if you're 5 or 6. Boy, do I wish I would have started sooner, taken a class. And even in middle school, high school, there was a language offered. I took French, but I didn't pursue it. And I wish I even that language, I would have pursued further. I think I would have learned better and faster when I was young and sprightly, but I'm going to get it. If anybody has any tips for learning Spanish, please do let me know. All right. Enough about me. You guys are getting ready to tune out. Let's talk about this podcast, because there's tons of people listening. I just looked up the stats. So last year we had a total of 15,000 downloads. Thank you, everyone, for thinking we are worth listening to. A really cool fact from last year's stats is that the number 2 place behind the United States of America was Turks and Caicos. So hello to everybody in Turks and Caicos that is listening out there. We're glad to have you as a part of this podcast. Even better news, we are already at 13,000 downloads and we are halfway through the year. So trending upward. And currently in second place behind the United States is Germany. So hello to everyone in Germany that is listening to this podcast. We are glad to have you as well. I also thought it would be cool to share the top 3 all-time podcasts with you all. So if you're new here, you want to go back and give them a listen. I would like to say I'm surprised, but I can't say that I am because America loves football. The top 3 episodes are owned by NFL players. The first is Marques Ogden's episode. Second, DJ Wiliams, who was a fellow Hurricane and a Denver Bronco for quite a bit. And our third most listened to podcast of all time is with Clinton Portis, also a fellow Miami Hurricane. So if you want to go back and hear their money memoirs, we'll make sure to include those links in the show notes. Catch up on those. You will have heard the top 3 of all time. And then let's talk about the top 3 of 2022, which I have a lot of confidence will move probably into the top 3 all time because this Millionaire series was fire. Oh my goodness, I got so many comments. This is when the podcast really came alive. And it was a really cool project for me to work on because at, I believe, the age of 40 or maybe shortly after 40, go back and listen to the episode and you'll get the details. Then we had Jeremy Schneider. If you are not following him on Instagram, you definitely should check him out. He's got really great content. Jeremy's a financial influencer with a really great story. So make sure you check that episode out. And then last but not least, our third place thus far for 2022 is Steven Stack, also a part of the Millionaire series. So as I said, if you're new here or if you're a regular but you missed a couple episodes, I just gave you 6 to check out. We'll include them in the show notes and we'll be rocking and rolling. All right, to close us out, let's talk about what we have coming up. So for me personally, the goal I've set is to work less, spend more time with family. My baby sister is pregnant and I'm super excited about it. Of course, with pregnancy comes tons of activity. So 3 baby showers, a little over the top, but I'll be at all of them. I don't want to miss a single opportunity to be able to support her. And as I said, I've now moved to figuring out how to prioritize my time based on the things that are most important to me versus allowing myself to just be busy all the time. So here's to normal weekends. Here's to working less, more time with family, and of course, creating time and space to do the work that I love. So that is financial retreats. I've talked about them, like I said, quite a bit. If you haven't heard about them, we're doing financial boot camps, which are short weekends where you can get your finances together, longer retreats, hoping for one in October in Colombia. That will be a week long. I'd love to show you what I love about this place while teaching you about your finances. And we're launching a 12-week online program for those of you that don't want to travel. So I'm super excited about what the business can do for the remainder of the year. I'm excited because I know all my listeners are going to spread the word about the programs that I have coming up. They're going to check them out themselves. Of course, they're in the show notes. And the travel enthusiast in me would love to be able to make it to Trinidad and Ghana before the year's out. I don't have trips planned yet. Got to go check my budget first. But if anybody's done Afrochella, please do hit me up. Let me know the best way to go about that because that's what I'm interested in Ghana. All right, let's close things out by talking about what is coming up in this podcast. So why should you guys be getting ready? Nope. So let's close it out talking a little bit about what's coming up for the rest of the year in the podcast. Next up is a VC series. So as I told you, I'm very interested in venture capital, angel investing, that whole world. And I thought it would be great to educate people about it because I think it's very elusive. That's exactly how I felt about it. How do people get in? It's only for rich people. It's only for really fancy people with great ideas. It's only if you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. There's a lot of myths we need to put to bed, but also a lot of education we need to get so we can understand what's happening in this world if we want to participate in it. So VC series is coming up with some really dope guests. And then after the VC series, Chloe's coming back. We got so many comments about the series that Chloe and I did. And she actually was she was a top 5 episode. So the one that Chloe and I did on equity compensation, if you are a person that, like I said, belongs to a part of a startup or is getting some sort of equity compensation, stock options, RSUs, ESPPs, ISOs, NQSOs. Yeah, all those letters sound crazy to you. Maybe they're in your employer package and you don't know what they are. Go back and listen to our equity compensation episode. But me and Chloe are bringing you more from the Know Better, Do Better series because you all asked for it. We've got plenty more to talk about because we want to make sure people are not getting scammed. There's so much junk out there, so much noise. And of course, I'll probably mix in a couple people's stories. We've had many requests for Sam Acho's brother, Emmanuel Acho, to come on the show and share his money memoir. People are wanting to get the other side of the story since Emmanuel's a pretty well-known guy. So we're working on that. We'll see. But it's going to be a great second half of 2022. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. So buckle up and get ready because we got some great shows coming your way. And as always, if you have suggestions on how to make this podcast even better than it already is, if you want to come on and share your money memoir, or you have a suggestion for who I should have on as a guest, don't hesitate to reach out to us. podcast@worth-listening.com. Let's go make the best of the rest of 2022.